Turns out that there are a lot of twisted ideas out there. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 darkest movie theories. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at 10 more movie theories that are incredibly dark, scary, or gloomy. If you don't see a theory you think should be on this list, be sure to check out our original video of the top 10 darkest movie theories. Also, spoiler alert. Number 10. The Ghostbusters died when they crossed the streams. Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
What?
Don't cross the streams.
It's made very clear by Egon that crossing the proton pack streams is catastrophic. Yet, at the end of the movie, the Ghostbusters intentionally cross their streams to destroy the dimensional gate. Some fans posit that the Ghostbusters died, and that Ghostbusters 2 takes place in purgatory.
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
This would explain the repetition of the first movie's plot, the Ghostbusters' bad reputation, and why no one else believes in the supernatural, despite the events of the first movie.
Excuse me, Egon. You said crossing the streams was bad.
Cross the streams.
You're gonna endanger us. You're gonna endanger our client.
Finally, Ghostbusters 2 ends with a chorus of Auld Lang Syne, a song often sung at funerals, and a painting of heavenly Ghostbusters. Both could signify that the Ghostbusters are finally moving on, having completed their mission in purgatory.
Sorry, folks, excuse me! Ghostbusters!
Number 9. Donnie died in Vietnam. The Big Lebowski.
We're talking about unchecked aggression here.
What the talking
My
about?
rug.
Forget it, Donnie, you're out of your element.
One of the most popular aspects of The Big Lebowski is the friendly yet hateful relationship between Walter and Donnie. However, some fans believe that Donnie doesn't actually exist. You see, Donnie is actually an old friend of Walter's who died fighting alongside him in Vietnam. The reason Walter's always telling Donnie to shut up is because he knows Donnie isn't real, and he's trying to get a grip on reality. This also explains why people barely address Donnie. When the nihilists attack Walter, he's reminded of his time in Vietnam, and confronts the memory of Donnie's death, allowing him to release both his guilt and the memory of Donnie, signified by Donnie's heart attack.
Call the medics, dude.
Number 8. Aladdin is set in a dystopian future. Aladdin.
First, that fez and vest combo is much too 3rd century. These patches, what are we trying to say? Beggar? No.
Some Disney fans seemingly have a thing for the post-apocalypse. According to them, Cars takes place in a distant future where humans have gone extinct, and Aladdin takes place thousands of years from now in a dystopian social reality. Why? Well, the genie states that Aladdin's outfit is so 3rd century, and he does various impressions of modern celebrities like Jack Nicholson, indicating that he was around between the 3rd and 20th centuries.
All right, Sparky, here's the deal. If you want to court the little lady, you gotta be a straight shooter. Do you got it?
What?
Tell her the truth.
But he also states that he's been imprisoned for 10,000 years, which means Aladdin could take place around the year 12,000, when humanity has been ruined by a catastrophe that decimated modern technology and lifestyles.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck!
Number 7. It's all in Bond's head. Spectre. James Bond meets a worthy and old adversary in Spectre. After being directed to Blofeld's base, Blofeld tortures Bond with a brain drill. Bond then escapes with the help of a too perfectly timed Madeline, defeats Blofeld, and destroys his base in a video gamey fashion. Or does he? Perhaps the ridiculous escape and subsequent third act are simply visions Bond has while he dies from Blofeld's brain drill. This theory borrows heavily from Terry Gilliam's brilliant Brazil, where the tortured character envisions his rescue and subsequent heroics. So, does that mean that the rest of the series will be James Bond's adventures in the afterlife?
Doesn't time fly?
Number 6. Michael becomes Travis Bickle, the deer hunter and taxi driver.
Now we got ourselves a game. You and me. You and me. Now we got ourselves a real game.
Robert De Niro played two of the most iconic movie characters of the 70s, Mike Vronsky, a Pennsylvania veteran dealing with the fallout of his and his friends' tour in the Vietnam War, and the unhinged taxi driver Travis Bickle, another non-vet.
Honorable discharge, May 1973.
Oh, in the Army?
Marines.
While Nom was obviously a topical subject for films back in the 70s, the relationship between these two characters could be much deeper. The Deer Hunter ends in 1975 when Mike buries his friend Nick. Taxi Driver takes place the following year, with the troubled Travis unable to sleep. Perhaps Mike changed his name and moved to New York City in a futile attempt to shed his old life and inner demons.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Number 5. Bruce Wayne died in the nuclear explosion. The Dark Knight Rises.
What are you doing?
I can get it out over the bay.
Set it to fly out over the water then eject?
No autopilot.
Many fans had issues with The Dark Knight Rises, including the overly dramatic ending which sees Batman hauling a nuclear bomb out of Gotham. While many rightfully assume that Batman is dead, having sacrificed himself for Gotham, Alfred later spots the very much alive Bruce and Selina while vacationing in Italy. Now, what are the odds of that? Some people believe it was simply a figment of Alfred's imagination. Bruce really did die in the nuclear explosion, and the grieving Alfred traveled to Florence to alleviate his sorrow. He then wills himself to imagine the happy couple and finally lets go of his grief, happy at the thought of Bruce's contentment. Number 4. Ferris Bueller is a figment of Cameron's imagination. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Then I sort of watched myself from inside. I realized it was ridiculous. Being afraid.
Speaking of imagination, there's a widely held belief that the events of Ferris Bueller's Day Off take place entirely inside the head of the bedridden Cameron. This is also known as the Fight Club theory, due to its similarities with that movie's plot. It posits that Ferris is a symbolic representation of Cameron's wish to be more confident and daring. While laying in bed, he imagines his confident alter ego joyriding in a fancy car, cozying up to his sexy girlfriend, and just generally enjoying a carefree existence. It could also be a meditative method Cameron uses to assert more control over his life, symbolized by the destruction of his controlling father's car.
Who do you love? Who do you love? You love a car. Bitch.
Number 3. Edna purposefully gave Syndrome a cape. The Incredibles.
The cape and the boots.
No capes.
Was Edna scheming all along? She makes it painfully clear that she does not give superheroes capes, as previous superheroes have struggled and died due to them. Yet Syndrome's superhero outfit comes equipped with one. Yes, it's entirely possible that Syndrome designed and created the suit himself. But did he go to Edna for help knowing that she was the go-to creator of the top-of-the-line superhero suits and could therefore make a better suit than he ever could? And did Edna outfit his suit with a cape, knowing that it would hinder his plans? Perhaps she even hoped for it to get caught in a jet turbine, just as Stratigale's was.
No capes.
Number 2. Totoro is the god of death. My Neighbor Totoro. This Miyazaki masterpiece is about two girls who move into an old house after their mother becomes ill, and then befriend a forest entity they name Totoro. But who or what is this creature? Could it be the god of death? According to legend, only people who have died or are close to death can see the god of death. And near the movie's beginning, the girls see soot sprites, rumored to represent impending death in Japanese folklore. As the theory goes, Mei actually drowns in the pond and Satsuki commits suicide out of grief. They then posthumously visit their dying mother with the help of Totoro, and she feels their presence. Number 1. Childs is actually the thing. The Thing.
What do we do?
Why don't we just wait here for a little while?
After blowing up the station and defeating the Thing, McReady and Childs share a bottle of scotch as they freeze to death. It's most definitely a depressing ending, but it could be made even worse if Childs is actually the Thing. Fans of this one of many dark The Thing theories point to numerous supposed pieces of evidence, like the fact that Childs is wearing a different coat. Others point to Childs' lack of visible breath. Finally, and perhaps most popular, is the concept that the bottle is actually filled with gasoline and McReady was testing Childs, who inadvertently proved that he wasn't human, resulting in McReady's demoralized chuckle after Childs takes a drink. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.